Justin Herbert is the new highest paid player in the NFL. 5 years, $262.5 million. And there is some pushback because he is getting this money before having ever won a playoff game. And I understand that, but they also had to pay him. So here's the thing. All of the other quarterbacks who have gotten huge money deals right after their rookie deal under the newest salary structure, all of those guys had won a playoff game except for Kyler, and I think they're going to regret that, and Carson Wentz, but Wentz was in a unique spot because he had played well enough to where his team was positioned for the number 1 seed. They then ended up winning the Super Bowl. He obviously wasn't playing because he was hurt. But Wentz also, that deal didn't work out. But Deshaun, Lamar, hell, Daniel Jones, obviously Mahomes, Jared Goff had been to a Super Bowl. Go up and down the list. Joe Burrow had been to a Super Bowl. He hasn't gotten his money yet, but he's about to. Tua not won a playoff game. He didn't get the big money deal. Now, Justin Herbert is an objectively excellent player, but there is still the but of we've seen him play in one playoff game and one de facto playoff game, and he wasn't great in either spot. The playoff game, when the Chargers had a chance to win the game outright, essentially, to go up by 5 scores at the end of the first half against the Jags, he missed a couple big throws. He then wasn't great in the second half, and they blow a 27-point lead. The de facto playoff game was week 18 of the year before, and that was when they were playing the Raiders in the famous, if there's a tie, they both go to the playoffs. Now, if you watched that game, the last half of the fourth quarter, he played perfect football. But the time leading up to that, he struggled mightily, which is why they needed him to play great in the latter half of the fourth quarter. Then they end up losing in overtime. This is a deal the Chargers had to do. It's undeniable. But now Justin Herbert, who was so great as a rookie and really sensational in year 2, and then last year took a bit of a step back. You can say it was the injuries on the team. You can say it was the cracked ribs, whatever it was, took a bit of a step back. It's now not about the cannon of an arm or the raw arm talent or any of that. It is more about the actual, are you going to take the next step? Because in the AFC, you have these 8 quarterbacks that are all vying for the argument of, where am I in the hierarchy? So you have, and I'm not going to list them in order, I'm just going to go off the top of my head by divisions. You have Allen, Rodgers, and Tua in the AFC East. You have Burrow and Lamar, and some people would throw in Deshaun Watson, I wouldn't. But in the AFC North, you have Trevor Lawrence in the AFC South, and then you obviously have Mahomes and Herbert in the AFC West, and again, some would throw in Russell Wilson, I won't. That's 8 guys, all of which, at various times of their career, have looked like great quarterbacks. For Tua, it's the smallest sample, but he was playing so great early last year before the injuries. You're in a weird spot in the AFC right now where you can be a really good quarterback and average in your conference. So they need Herbert, undeniably, to take that next step forward. Maybe Kellen Moore, he will do it with Kellen Moore, but this is a massive year for him because after this year, when this contract really starts to kick in, it gets so much harder for them to build a winner, and you're not going to be able to have Mack and Bosa. They just drafted Quentin Johnston with their number 1 pick, which I loved that pick for them. But you're not going to have Mike Williams and Keenan Allen and him long term. So you probably have as much talent around you as you ever will right now if you're the Chargers. So it's a big spot. And they're now paying him like He is a top 5 quarterback in football. He obviously has top 5 quarterback talent. He has not quite delivered top 5 quarterback results. We'll see if he does. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.